coming through and ask yourself why they're coming to a live which is clearly titled, and then they'll ask you, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Hello, everybody. I know. It's been a hot minute since the last time I was here. Why is it say a rand instead of a dollar? Those of you who may want to give me a super thanks, a super thanks. It's Christmas time. We got to give. Spirit of giving. Oh my gosh. Hello, Victoria's sister. Oh my god, where have you been? You've abandoned me. Are you good? Oh my god, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a very long time. I think I saw you in a comment section. I can't remember whose comment section it was. Okay, wait. I think it was Ntandom Ledge's comment section. I hope you're good. My goodness, it's almost end of the year. The year has almost ended. Can you believe it? We were just saying Happy New Year just yesterday, and then now we are back. Merry Christmas. Just to let you know, I have a Christmas tree. Tell me why I did not put it up this year. Ask me why I did not put it up this year. I'll tell you the answer. Simple. Just when I was putting it, I remember dismantling it and putting it in the box it came with. And just when I threw it up on top of the wardrobe, guess what? It was December again. And I say, how? Do you know how annoying decorating? Number one, you have to undo those leaves or branches. And I'm not good with my hands. I think you guys already know this. I'm terrible with my hands, and I don't have good accommodation to see a vision of a Christmas tree. So what I usually do is I would undo those branches, right? And then take the lights and I just throw them over. If they form a certain shape, I'm happy. Sometimes I just take it and I go zzz, and then I step back a bit and then I put it on. If it looks good to me, we're good to go. And then those little balls that you decorate with, I will put one this side, one at the bottom, one on the top, one in the middle, like that. And if it looks like a Christmas tree, I'm good. I like some Christmas trees. When you look at them, you're like, wow, some people are so creative. How do you do it? how, how do you do it? So this year I was like, nah, because not so long after Christmas Day, you have to bring it down. And when you bring it down, I get afraid to know. This year was way too fast for me. It was long and fast. Long in terms of it was a lot of work and a lot to accomplish in 2024. But at the same time, the months were moving like this because you have a project and the deadline will be probably in 3 months. Tell me why you get that project the following week, you have to submit it because the deadline is now looking you straight in the eye. You're like, wait a minute, is this the third month? It is. So that's how fast I feel like 2024 has been. Victoria sisters say, fine, thanks. Don't worry, I do watch you. Ah, thank you. Thank you. I'm comfortable to hear that. Thank you so much for saying that. Hey Siwa, how are you doing? How you doing? Next week it must cut. Like really, you just put it up last week, and now we have to. I know, not this year. I do not have that energy. It's good for content. It's good for content when you unbox it and then assemble it and decorate it. And it's also content when you bring it back down. and putting it in these boxes, and no, thank you, not for me, not today, not this year. I'm done. Hey, Michelle. Oh, I see something that has changed. Hi, what are you doing? Good morning to you. How are you? It's so good to see you. I love what I see. I love what I see. Two change. I love it. I love it. I love it. It sounds like wow to me. Actually, I love it. I so much love it. Charlene, hi, Charlene. How are you doing? This is good. So, guys, this is the last live of the year, or the final live of the year, 2024. I'm doing great, great, Michelle. I'm happy to hear that. I'm very happy to hear that. Victoria's sister says November 1st, the kids put it up, and I have to buck in January for it to be packed out. It's always fun to have it up because you decorate. Taking it down, no. Yo, me now, when I took it down, I was out of breath. I was like, out of breath. Then I was like, okay, at least we have another 12 months. No, you telling me it's no, I couldn't. I was like, nah, I refuse. I refuse. I'm not gonna put myself through that. Yeah, I can imagine the kids. They've had the assorted biscuits, they've had the Christmas toys, the Christmas clothing. You've taken them out on vacation. They've shown off to their friends and Christmas lunches and dinners and breakfast. The 26th holiday, New Year's Eve, New Year's. Who cares from there as a kid? Who really cares whether that tree is going to be there for the entire year? Oh, speaking of a Christmas tree, that's to the entire year. Once upon a time, I had a neighbor back in Durban. The kids, again, they put up the Christmas tree. In fact, they went and they went where it stays, minding its own business. The parents had said nothing about putting up the Christmas tree. They went up and put it around the 31st of October. Yeah. They put it up. They had all the time in the world. They were saying, it makes us relax from examinations. All right. The parents said nothing. They said absolutely nothing about that Christmas tree. They put it, and it's a huge Christmas tree. Tell me why, when they've had all the fun in the world, taking pictures in front of it, videos, you name it, and posting them on Facebook before YouTube was a big thing and TikTok was not even around at that time. And then came January, the tree stood there. At night, automatically lights up, and it would dance around those lights. February, March, April, May, nobody's thinking of bringing it down. And the parents were just looking at them. They're just looking at them. May, June, July, all the way till December. That poor thing has also gathered some few dusts. And the parents said nothing. Now that we're expecting things in December, Christmas presents and Christmas clothes and, all that stuff. You know what they were doing, these two parents? They were booking flights for vacation outside of the country by themselves, without them, as punishment. As punishment. Tell me why these kids were screaming and crying about Christmas clothes and Christmas presents. Hey, and what? The parents was like, you only get, Christmas Father or Father Christmas, how do you call it? Santa Claus. That list of the naughty ones and the good kids? They said, we are now Santa Claus. We will check who's been good and who's been bad, and you're all being bad. That Christmas tree has been hanging since October 31st. We said nothing. And you're supposed to come down in January. We still said nothing. So since you guys have been naughty, y'all can see what you do with yourselves. They left them with groceries to eat for Christmas and some few pieces of meat to braai on New Year's Eve, and they were out of here. I think they had gone to Maldives to celebrate Christmas and the New Year. Did that tree not come down tumbling down by the time the parents came back from their holiday? And it was still December. It was still December because I think something happened in the melt. I think the weather was bad or something. It rained a lot. So they came back around the 29th or something like that. And even when they arrived on the 29th, they did not go home. They booked a hotel in another province and city. I was like, I am a Cancer and we are very petty. I was like, that level of pettiness, I could not have thought about it myself. But that Christmas tree went down in December. By the time the parents came back on the 2nd of January, clean. All cleared. And now they have a Christmas trauma, these kids. Now the parents are like, aren't you putting on the Christmas tree? They're like, no, mom, you can put it up if you want to. Oh, I love petty parents. But other than that, guys, what are y'all up to? What are you up to? Thanks for the idea. I'll definitely shut up and see if they'll take a vacation in the next Christmas. But I love that. I love that so much. That, oh wow, so this is how you deal with kids that think they are smarter than you. Because they're thinking, oh, we put it up, but you're gonna bring it down. Because they know bringing it down, it's hard work, y'all. Trying to put it back. Oh my goodness. And those balls, you need to no. Too much. Yeah, I'm telling you, Siwa, it is hilarious what they did. Now they got Christmas trauma. They wait for the parents to be the ones that ask them to put the Christmas tree up. And so the following year, they were I think it was early this year, where they kept quiet and see and looked at what they are going to do. They brought it down themselves. They brought it down themselves. January 2nd, it came down. And the parents then took them out for a vacation. I think it to Cape Town it was, before schools opened in a week. So it's a good reward, I think. I think that's also another way of good discipline. I know some parents may disagree with this because these days you actually cannot touch a child. Your child can touch you, but you can't touch your child. So what's the best way to discipline a child? Silence. You just keep quiet, and then you know what they like, right? There's always going to be something new that their friends have, and they'll come to you, mom, dad, can I have, you just be silent. If they ask what's happening, you look around. If they don't clean up their rooms or clean up after themselves, just run your eyes around it. Like, they'll get it. They'll quickly go and wash the dishes. They'll quickly clean the house. They'll quickly clean themselves and their rooms. Make sure that their homework are done. And that's when you reward them. That every time when mom and dad are not responding, that means there's something I'm not doing right. Then they go and check what they did not do right, and they will fix it. With me, I'll tell you how I used to discipline my nieces. I don't believe also in, I know spare the rod spoils the child. I think that's what the Bible says. Spare the rod spoils the child. I do believe that have some level of discipline without being physical. So with me, it was always on an intellectual side. If my nieces, they did something naughty, I will send them, of course, naughty corner. I mean, I know they'll fight you, but of course, guess who's stronger? And a kid does tend to give up at some point. They do tend to give up. Look away, face the wall, think about what you did. When they grew a little bit older, I started buying books and with school and starting to learn how to read. I'll give them the book to read, and then I will call them out of the naughty corner and say, "Come, tell me, what did you read and what did you understand?" That is the greatest discipline, because you see the fear in their eyes. And one thing I can tell you about that type of discipline, it also sharpens their minds and they become critical thinkers, because they will read something and then they will tell you back what they read and how or what they understood. And you're like, no, you missed the point. Go back and read the book. Go back and read. And then they go back. And then when you are ready and you are done, come back and tell me, what did you read and what is the moral of the story? So now when I say no to something, it was a no. I spoke once because they don't want to go to that corner and start reading a book they may not understand. But today they're avid readers because of that kind of punishment. You know, they are avid readers and they perform extremely well at school. Extremely, extremely well. I did something without actually knowing what I was also creating out of them. I created intellectuals out of them. And now, next year, they're going to matric with distinctions upon distinctions. And I project that they will also pass matric with distinctions upon distinctions. And they can choose any university they want to go to in 2025, 2026, I suppose. So there are many ways to skin a. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? There are many ways of finding uh, tactics to discipline kids. So I think the Christmas tree one, I think it did the trick. Silent treatment, when your parent is treating you with silent, you know how hurtful that is? Not only hurtful, it makes you feel horrible that I'm the one who's a horrible person making my mom not to talk to me. I don't know. This is what says Mina. No leave for me this December. I had to compromise. Oh no, that is sad. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, but anyways, those that work in December, I hear you guys have a lot of fun. You get treated very well with nice things. I don't know if government does that as well. But in some companies, if you had to compromise, they did not make you feel like you were working, even though you are working, but they'll also treat you very, very nice. You'll get like massage hampers, you will get a gift card for this, and you will have, I guess, big entertainers come by for 2, 3 minutes to entertain you guys. I mean, I did work at a job where I had to work during this time of the year, and that's how they did it. They made it fun for us to come to work. They made it extremely fun. We didn't bring our own meals. They will order from a restaurant to bring us meals, or we can go to that restaurant during lunchtime. Yeah, compliments of the new seasons to you. What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? It's so good to see you. So yeah. Victoria's sister says, Joe Clancy, this can be a madhouse if I don't discipline them. I know what you're talking about. This house is omunye phezu komunye. Kids are homeschooling, mommy and daddy working from home. Oh, everybody so is at home 24/7. I like that. I actually like that. I don't know the concept of homeschooling. I kind of like it, but at the same time, I feel like I'm way too traditional. I still believe in a child waking up. Not that I'm saying anything is wrong, but the concept, I'm intrigued by it. How does it work? How do the kids, let's say, if they don't understand something, maybe a syllabus or something, how do you get them? Okay, let's say a child, let's just put it this way. They don't want to wake up in the morning. I don't know if the schooling time is the same as the ordinary school, or they can, I mean, learn at any given time. Those are the things that I'm intrigued about. However, I still though believe in the traditional way of going to school, you know, so they can socialize, create friends, but also be on high alert on what they learn out there from strangers. Because, of course, you have a different home bringing, and you are bringing up your kids to be upstanding members of society and contributing members of society. While sometimes, as a parent or parents, you let your child go to an ordinary school and they get there, they are absolute nonsense or nonsense for that matter. They are teaching other kids bad stuff that you are unaware of because at home your kid is an angel. But when you are like homeschooling them, man, I think that is safest for them. It's the safest, I think. Please let me know. So I want to be educated around this. I find it fascinating. So it says, I think I will start taking my grandson to that corner rather than smacking him. Please don't smack him. I saw him, he's like the cutest thing. Don't smack him, please. Use, there are things that they don't like. You see the things that they don't like, and it must not be a psychological attachment because you might traumatize them. It must not be something like, don't take away their favorite toy. If it's a stuffed animal, don't take it away. There's sentimental and also a mental relationship they have with that animal. Take them both to the naughty corner. Like, both of you to the naughty corner. And think about what you both just did. Because my last born niece, that's how she used to have this stuffed animal that she loved. She called it Maria, even though it was a male. So whenever I disciplined her, I would send both of them to the naughty corner. And she'll always talk to it and say, I'm sorry for putting you in trouble. You literally hear her talk to her, I'm sorry for putting you in trouble while rubbing her stuffed animal. I promise next time I'll do better. Or maybe I'll ask my uncle to just punish me, not you. Situation. But the corner thing, they hate it. And it's not a it doesn't do any psychological damage to the kid because I feel it does. I'm not speaking as an expert here. I'm just talking to you guys as my own um, experience in altering the of the child, because I think that one is more traumatizing to a child. So the corner, one thing I know for sure, they hate it. When you send them, they will fight you. And you, as an adult, you gotta be headstrong about it. When I say headstrong, they are going to fight you. Some kids, they even use this on the wall. You know, you just do this, they will stop. They will stop. They need to know who's in control in most cases. That, hey, you can try and manipulate me any way and every way you want to. What remains is you are going to be in that corner thinking about what you've done. Come, I will call you to come back and tell me, what did you think you did wrong? And how do we fix this? You know, don't manipulate them like, how do you think grandma feels about this? It's not about you. It's about their own good. That's my take on that. Um yeah, I saw my friend. I am African. How's London? Oh, I'm in the UK. I know, man. Is it raining and snowing? You know, I would love to experience White Christmas someday, even though I hate the cold. Oh my goodness. I'm not a cold person. I don't like it. That's why I like summer and sweat in summer. I would rather go through that, except for the mosquitoes. I am mosquito shem. See, right now I am scratching a mosquito bite. I didn't even notice that I'm being bitten. I hate that. Victoria's sister says we start at 8 to 1 p.m. Monday to Thursday. Okay. Friday is reserved for sports. Oh, you even do sports. That's interesting. They do camps here and there. I love camps. I grew up on camps. I feel like camps, they do something to a young person that because there obviously you know what goes on in camps, right? There's a lot of body activities, and I'm talking running, doing military stuff, and hiking and camping, canoeing, and all that stuff, including even scouting and hunting and cooking sometimes your own meal. All those things I love about camps. And I grew up on camps. I would go to camps every school holidays. Every school holidays. Like I would go to a camp maybe twice a year. At first, I thought it was normal, only to learn that it was to keep us off the streets. It was to keep us off the streets and meeting bad influences because my entire I went to an all boys school. Even though there were some boys that were smoking, but I matriculated without having touched a cigarette in my entire teen life. However, when I was 13 years old, okay, story time. Story time. I'll continue reading the comment. So you know how a boy, right, looks up to their father. If you have a boy and his father is present and has certain habits, whether those habits are smoking and drinking, be rest assured that your son is watching. And in his head, and especially if you have a curious child, a boy child, in his head, watching his dad take a sip of his, I don't know, let's say whiskey, throws it, and it does something like he's curious about that. Why does he does that? Or why does he have a facial expression? Or why his face is straight when he drinks whiskey or brandy or whatever it is raw, maybe with two ice cubes. And also, if he's a smoker and he puffs his cigarette in a specific way, your boy is watching him. And if you are giving your boy what we call ikeri, like money to buy stuff at the school tuck shop, that money doesn't go there. He saves it because he had gone. Now these days there's Google. They will Google how much is a pack of Rotmans. For example, my dad used to smoke Mills. I don't know if you know Mills. It used to be in a yellow packet, and it used to either be in a long box like 30 inside or in a square box, which was, I remember the predominant color was yellow with some gold in it. That's what my dad smoked. And he drank brandy. Like, I don't know what's the difference between brandy and whiskey. Which one is clear and which one is brown? He liked the brown one. He drank the brown one. And back in the day, your parent bottle stores or liquor stores never used to have age limits. I don't know if you remember that. So my dad, sometimes he will send me to go buy him, what was the word, nip? He'll say, go buy me a nip off. And of course, all this, you're looking at it as you're going home, you're asking yourself, what is this? How does it taste like? That was me. When I turned 13, my mom used to, of course, give me carry. My carry used to be like R1 or something like that. And R1 was a lot of money back in the early 90s. And it used to be that big coin rand, but the following year it reduced to that current rand size coin. So I went and I would save up because I remember the nip being somewhere around 12 rand, but I wanted the bigger one. So that bigger one was around 15 rand or something like that. So I knew that I had to keep 15 of those coins. That was easy. So in my township, the back of the township used to have a stream. That stream used to lead to the Umlazi River. This is KwaZulu Natal, of course. It used to lead to the Umlazi River. So that stream, that back, what do you call this? The back of the township, the sediment there was quite soft. It was clay mixed with very soft sediment. So what we did, we created like a makeshift cave out of the soft sediment of the riverbank. So it basically it came inward, and then we would just crawl underneath it, and that's where we used to play house. Where we used to also, if our parents beat us, we would run and go have our lone time there with the stream running down the stream, of course. So I gathered my friends, like, hey, because our dads used to drink the same thing, but they smoke different cigarettes. So we go there and I'm showing them, hey guys, look what I have. And we take like our father's glasses for I don't know, brandy glasses, as I learned later on in life. We would take them. My dad had four. I took one, and then my other friends as well took one from their own father's cabinet, and it stayed in a specific cabinet in the living room. So, of course, it went on the other side, and I pouring. Now, remember, these things are measured, right? You measure it, because I used to say, look at my father. The measurement was somewhere like this much inside the glass, and he would just throw it back. All right. But no, Clancis and his friends thought that was way too little. Number one, we've never drank this before. Tell me why. Instead of having this much, we were having almost a full glass. And we thought we were just going to throw this at the back of our throats and everything will be fine and dandy. Because indeed, when we took the first gulp, I went down immediately. Like, first, my throat, my chest, my body was burning. I didn't know whether to cry, breathe. I didn't know what to do. I remember while I was lying down, looking up, and I could see the sky and the cumulonimbus cloud, because that particular day it was going to be a very heavy storm. And usually when there's a heavy storm, the stream, guess what happens to it? It fills up into a nice river. And this is not just a river. The river is rapid because the streamline is a bit, what do you call this? It's steep. And like I said, it leads to the Umlazi River. And parts of the Umlazi River, by the way, has crocodiles. The area that we were at, the Umlazi River had crocodiles. So can you imagine if you are swept by the stream into the Umlazi River, which was basically not far away. It was literally probably 3 kilometers away from where we were at. I am looking at the sky turning black, and then, but the clouds are forming these circles. And then I'm spinning at the same time. Next thing, I was blacked out. Come the rain. Our parents, because when it rains, we had to run back to our respective homes. If we got stuck somewhere in between, we can go to a nearby friend's house and wait for the rain to finish. But the idea was, the moment you see the sky black, come home. Especially when day turns to night, because the cumulonimbus cloud, it can turn the day into night. The thunder, rain. Now parents are like, where are our children? And that rain rained for a good 3 hours or so. And that stream was already a river. Now, what was helping us was where our makeshift cave we made, it was a bit higher. So the river will not touch the edge of our cave. So no water was coming through. But one of my friends, when they woke up, they were like, oh my God, we cannot walk out of here because that stream was like speeding down. It was no longer a stream, it was now a river. It was speeding down. Now the rain has stopped. Our parents are looking for us. And another thing, in my township parents, the street lights were told they must never come on while you are still out there. By the time the street light come on, you must have been home, taken a shower, and in your pajamas watching television. If you are caught with the lights, street lights on. Now, my mom used to keep a shambok. She used to keep a shambok, a belt, and a cane. And out of these three, before she used it on you, she would ask you, so which one would you prefer today? Because all of them are painful. Whether you take the leather belt, whether you take the cane, which I hated, and the shambok, which I also hated, I always went with the belt for some reason, even though it was painful. So now the street lights are on. And secondly, it's dark now. It's like 8. Oh, my mom. Now my mom is not a person that talks. She keeps quiet. She eats this. But inside, it's a volcano ready to erupt. Police were called, a search. What do you call this? Team was all over the township. Now, they couldn't go to the outskirts of the township because that is the stream, which is now a river. Nobody's thinking about that because we all know we don't go there, especially when it rains, because that stream turns into a river. So we would be dumb. All of us would have gone there and swept by the river. However, the white people, you know how they are like. They were like, we have to check the stream and we have to go as far as the Umlazi River and look for evidence that crocodiles didn't get them and what. I'm telling you, state resources. This is still the dying days of apartheid, by the way. Let me also put that clear. It was the dying days of apartheid as well. And now my township is filled with white people coming to look for us. They searched and searched and searched and searched. So one of the white guys decided to use the boat upstream. But when he used the boat upstream, he did not see our man-made cave. My friends said they saw something going ring. They didn't even know what that was. However, one of my friends braved the currents and basically went into the river, and he held on to a tree that was hanging into the river, and that's how we got out. And this is like 5 a.m. now, the next day, and he's walking towards his home, looking all raggedy, and seeing police vans and sirens and lights and parents literally crying. And then he went straight home. They didn't see him. He went straight home and laid in his bed. The sister, when she got up, she ran outside and said, hey, so-and-so is back. Everybody ran to him to find out, where is the rest of us? And he could not talk. He was doing and that. They were being frustrated. One of the paramedics smelled a very strong alcoholic smell out of his breath. So they said, okay, maybe he's a bit drunk. Let's wait for a while. They put some drips, which will fasten the process of, we're young. Probably we're like, 13 years old? Our lungs are still developing and all that stuff. So eventually he woke up and then he just pointed to the river. That's where we'll be found. And then we were taken out from our case, and I could hear my mom. She's right on top of me, like standing above me. But I could hear her and my father arguing, and my mom is like, I am taking him back to the Lord. I don't want to do it now while he's in this I want him to feel it when he goes back to the Lord. And I was like, Cha, I ain't waking up from here because this woman is serious. I know her. He's like, the belt is not going to work. The shampoo is not going to work. And definitely the cane is not going to work. I'm going to use my bare hands and the wall. I was hearing all that comment. My dad was like, no, you're not going to do that to my son. And then she was like, watch me. Watch me. And so even though I was now sober, I was afraid to get up. I know my mom, my mom knows, mothers know, right? Just like, hey, when, hey, when, hey, wake up. I was like, I was like, I'm dead. Oh gosh, I'm dead. I was like, yeah, God, I know I'm young, and if I've ever offended in one way or the other, accept me, please. I apologize. Because I'm about to meet you. This woman is taking me out. And my dad was supposed to have gone to work, but he decided he ain't not going to work because he's not going to lose a son. So apparently, my mom, I think somehow, her anger kind of like subsided, like really subsided, and her maternity instincts came up. And all she was so maternal to me, taking care of me, making sure I'm feeling good and I'm all right. The reason why she was doing that is because when I was taken out, I had blood coming out of my tear ducts, my nose, as well as some parts of my ears. Anyway, there's a hole on my face. Blood was in fact was popped out. So apparently, when I drank the brandy or whiskey, whatever it was, it scraped my liver. Remember, I'm at 13 years. Basically, I just turned 13. So my lungs are still developing and my liver is just as fragile can be. But the alcohol kind of scraped it or burnt it or whatever it was. And then it traveled through my tear ducts and my ears and mouth and nose. So that scared my mother, apparently. That scared her. So they did treat us and said I was going to be fine with drips and all that stuff. Do you think Francis was done with experimenting? Remember, there are two things that I am observing from my father. Two. The last one is cigarettes. 2 weeks later, after recovery and not being unalived by my mother, who was now more protective than ever, I go and I save up more money for it. The cigarette, the 30 mils that was in the. Once again, we go back to the river. At that time, the river had gone back to being a stream. And then our cave was still nice and okay, didn't need any maintenance. And sometimes we would maintain it, especially when you're going to play like house. Is it house game? Yeah, house game. And so went back, distributed the loose. I think they're called loose. Gave this loose to my friend, that loose to him, and we had a box of match. None of us knew how to strike a match. I think I finished the entire box of match. Interestingly, one of my friends had a lighter on him. And he had planned to go and burn, like to ignite on the other side of the river. There used to be like this how do you call it? A field of grass, savanna. There was this savanna in this hill by our township, and that grass can get really, really, really high. And so now and again, somebody will burn it. We'll never know who burned it. Now we know who burnt it. It was not, of course, me. It was one of my friends. He would just light it, and then the entire hill will just burn throughout the day and night. So he was planning to do that. And then it's like, oh no, I got this. And now we are holding our cigarettes like this, like our dads would. Now the question was, okay, the flame is on, but what do we do? Because all I remember all of us were doing was blowing instead of pulling. We're like, and it will go off. That's how the match was also finished, because instead of pulling, but guess who was like, what if we pull instead of blowing? This is when we all did it almost at the same time. I don't know if you have put a cigarette in your mouth before and pulled for the first time. What happens? Because you don't have the technique, remember? So your throat and your esophagus, all the way into your trachea, in your lungs, wide open. I mean, wide open. And all that smoke, when it goes in, tell me why Clantis once again fell to the ground, seized the sky. This time there was not cumulonimbus cloud. It was a clear blue sky. And I am seeing myself spinning in my head. I'm like, this time around, I'm definitely dead. My mom is going to finish me today. I spin. I'm like, no. But fortunately, this one was short-lived, probably like 30 minutes, and it's still like 3 in the afternoon. And the sun sets in my township around winter, somewhere around 5:15. So we still had a lot of time, 2 hours, 15 minutes. But in 30 minutes, the whole thing was done. However, one thing I noticed, my knees were weak. I could not stand up. So anyways, we just sat there until everything became okay. Everything became okay. However, when I go home and I walked past my mom, who was busy washing dishes, and she just returned from work, she was like, come here. And this one, she's like, were you with your father? And my dad was nowhere near home at that time. So where on earth did I get cigarette smoke all over my face, my mouth, and on my clothes? I didn't even realize. My mom was like, go to the bedroom and bring me the usuals. And then you have to choose, son, because clearly you did not learn anything 2 weeks ago. And I'm still angry. I'm like, oh, no, seriously. I got it that night. When I say I got it. Never again, till this very day in my 40s, did I ever touch a cigarette. Ever. And also, when it comes to alcohol, the only time I started dapping in it, it was in my 40s. And then even on that, I'm not drinking like drinking. I'll just, if I have a glass of wine in my hand, it takes probably 3 hours to finish it, because I'm done and putting it away. I don't know, maybe I still have trauma, I don't know, but I don't play with alcohol either. So the reason why I am telling this story is because of what Victoria's sister said about sports and camps in the comment. So you continue to say they do camps here and there. We don't do online schooling. They have a full-time teacher. We're also doing Cambridge curriculum. Lovely. We used to do Cambridge curriculum as well, because I went to an all-boys school, and my boys' school belonged to the British Royal House. So most of our teachers came from Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England, New Zealand, Australia, basically your British colonies, including Canadians and some Americans. But I've always had American teachers almost throughout my schooling life. Victoria's sister says the eldest wrote his GCE SE last year at the British Council in Johannesburg in June 2025. He's sitting for his AS. Ooh, AS, my gosh. Oh my gosh. I know. Matriculation, let's just put it that way, which is grade 12 equivalent. Yeah, definitely. Oh, matriculation. As we, oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Siwa says, interesting. Yeah, quite interesting. Very, very interesting. Moments of what? Cute Angel, how are you doing, stranger? I haven't seen you around in a long time. I hope you're good. Michelle says, "Wow, this story is so good." Oh, I had actually have one more that I just remembered. Experiment, but this one was more like when I was already 18. Oh, no, I wasn't 18. I was 16 because I was in the 10th grade. Yeah, I was 16, 15 to turn 16. Hmm, you have no idea. This one embarrasses me to this very day when I think about it. Michelle says the streetlights scenario was a synonymous global. Yes, I've learned that over the years that whether you're black, white, Indian, colored, and whatever Chinese, the rule was don't let the street lights catch you while you are out there. Otherwise, it's a big bang bang. I learned that. I thought it was what was done in my township growing up. Michelle laughing at my story. So the last one is about snuff. You know snuff? I don't know. Michelle, you are American, so I'm not quite sure if you guys have. There's this thing called snuff. Women they like to. It's black. I think it's made out of tobacco leaves, but grinded into like this fine, fine, fine dust. And so what? Instead of smoking it, they put it through their nose type of situation, and it will makes you sneeze as well. You sneeze a lot. However, if you don't want the sneezing part, you take it and put it on that those dust. You put it under your tongue or some sort. So that I used to have this friend who's a female and also a neighbor. She just arrived in the neighborhood. Yes, snuff is tobacco. They would chew. Ah, okay. Now you understand what. Yeah, exactly. It's either you chew it or you put it under, or you either sniff it or something like that. In South Africa, it is famously sniffed rather than chewed or put under the tongue. It's usually they'll take it and put it on top of the lid of this thing and then sniff it out. All right, that's how it's done here in South Africa. But this girl was new in the neighborhood, and she would take hers with a nail. She had this nail that she grew, and she would just dig it from its dodge and then put it under her tongue. I thought that was cool. And secondly, I was like, what is that? And then because I have what do you call this? My grandma used to thingy it. And I used to watch it. That never interested me before because I remember the sneezing and I don't like sneezing. And so she would sneeze and sneeze and sneeze. Me, that girl, she made it look so cool when she would dig it out. And then there's a particular way of how she was doing it. She would be like, and fingernail would be like clean. And then she continued with whatever she was doing. Not me, Clancy's going to bite where she was buying hers. And then when I came back, I remember I had just done cleaning and cooking because that was my responsibility as I was growing up. My mom discovered that I have talents when it comes to the kitchen. So, and also keeping myself clean and keeping my environment clean. So I had done all of those stuff. I've done my homework. In fact, it was a Friday afternoon when when I went and bought the snuff thing. Yeah, yeah, it was the snuff blue with yellow cap. Yeah, but hers was more like I think it was grounded by somebody else rather than going to buy the one in a blue and yellow stuff like this, but it's bigger than the Vicks. I don't know what you call this container. So, anyways, I was done and I'm sitting on top of my bed. In fact, I wasn't sitting, I was standing because I was waiting for the kettle to boil, make myself tea because I used to enjoy tea at 15 or something like that. And I'm just standing there and I take my thingy. It wasn't in this though. It was in a plastic. This lady used to make it and tie it in a plastic. Ah, okay, that's me. Seconds. When I say seconds, yeah, I'm not exaggerating. I don't know what happened because when I woke up, it was my mother returning from work, found me cold on the floor. She thought, oh my goodness, what happened to my child? She started screaming, and I could hear her, but I couldn't move. I couldn't move. She was screaming. Everybody came. When I say everybody came, the only person that looked at me and said, this is familiar. She was like, no, 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 he's okay, he's fine. He's fine. And then, because she saw at the tip of my fingers while they were laying, there was that plastic that she knows. She stole it so that nobody sees what had happened, basically saving me. What story I'm going to make up after that, that's my own, story to make. She told everybody, no, 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 he's fine. Don't worry. He's going to wake up. He's fine. Oh, now I started making some movement. My mom, she's like, not this again. Not now. You, not again. And I'm like, no, mom, no. I just felt ill and I don't know. Hey, the lies through. Now my mom knows when I lie because I'm not good of a liar at all. I mean, I tried every story and it kept changing. She's like, if this was a true story, why does it keep changing? Eventually, I told the truth. I was like, okay, this is what had happened. Now, at this point in my life as a teenager, I don't know why Zulu parents do that. They stop they kids, especially boy children. I think it stops at the age of 14 or so. And I did when my mom would discipline me, I never used to retaliate because I know that giant lady, she will knock me out straight to God. Nobody, even my older brother, never argued with her. So she stopped. She stopped when I was 15. And so she kind of like forgot about it. I forgot about it. Never touch sniff again in my life. To this day, when I see it on top of a thing, I literally run away in case some wind just blows it in my direction. No, thank you. Never touched it again. Those are my story times, guys, of why I sometimes I feel like I'm a late bloomer in some things. I think I'm very careful with with stuff. But one thing has always bothered me is my mind. I've got a very curious mind, you guys. My mind is so curious, it's annoying sometimes. Like sometimes I literally have to say, don't ask, don't ask, don't ask, don't ask, don't. But I end up asking anyway. That's me. So, so all this is coming out of the comment by Victoria's sisters because of my curiosity regarding the homeschooling. You see, nice story time there, hey. It was the three story times. Maybe I should tell these story times in my other videos as well. Yes, snuff is tobacco. They would chew. Yes, I didn't know that you guys also call it snuff. They call it chewing tobacco makes teeth black. Apparently so, because even that girl's teeth, the older she was becoming, they started changing color. They started yellow and then they transformed into like black. I don't know whatever happened to her now because she was a little bit older than me. Probably she's in her 50s now. Snuff, the blue with the yellow cap taxi. Oh yeah, yeah. I know the that one we buy it when we same samu, like the when we have a traditional do. We'll buy that very one you're talking about, Magdalene. Seriously, she was an expert. She was an expert, and the way she did it, it was in such an interesting way. I think that's what I wanted to do as well. Magdalene's laughs first. What was in that stuff? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the because I don't think there's anything that was put in there because remember I also experimented with cigarettes, which is made of tobacco, and then it knocked me down. So I think either I'm allergic to tobacco or tobacco has some kind of properties that make you go. Maybe that's why people like smoking. I don't know. I don't know, but I don't think there was nothing in it. Either I'm allergic to tobacco, or that's the effect it gives you when you smoke. I don't know. Michelle says the snuff was too much. No, it was exactly the same size and amount. I think it was the same size and amount. I did not take too much because remember, I learned from the brandy that you must take what you see, replicate what you see. Don't go adding your own measurements because you might find yourself in trouble. I learned a lesson out of that one. I was like, oh, next time. That's why everything I do to this day, when a doctor says 2 pills for 3 times a day, I do exactly that. I do exactly that. I don't go less or more. So I know I'm making a very silly example. I'm just making a point here that the brandy or whiskey experiment or experience taught me to do as you see, not your own mind telling you doing, oh, this is. I also learned then that I love having my feet firmly on the ground and in control of my environment. Michelle ran away, or I ran away. Yeah. Whenever you put I ran away, I kept away from you when you were putting this thing on. Magdalene loves that the brandy take what you see. if, if it's a, I don't know, these days people will say one finger, fingers on ice. I've learned that as I'm growing. Oh, 2 fingers. That means the alcohol must be exactly 2 fingers. The content. If it's one finger, I don't know if they use this or index finger. I think it's in. I don't know which one they use, and then they'll put two ice, or they'll say 2 fingers and on the rocks or something. I don't know what they say. Something like that. Michelle says it's the purest form of tobacco from the. Oh, so it's not treated. Oh, my parents worked at tobacco farm, and it has to be processed. The time people get a cig. Oh, by the time people get a cigarette, it has been processed. That snuff was pure leaf. So there are properties that they remove during the process so that the person that uses the tobacco does not feel the way I did. I got you. I got you. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So yeah, ooh. But is that legal not to process it? And because now I'm starting to think because she never put it in an official container, it was always in like this clear plastic and it's tied in a certain way. You the one, like for example, this Vicks container when it's finished, because that's what she used to use the Zambak container to offload it into it, and then she will open and do that thing of hers. Oh, this world, hey, very interesting. We live in a very interesting times, guys. I think I've been here for well over an hour. I just came to say to you all, thank you for 2024. I appreciate your support, and as you guys know, this channel is about YouTube education. I've learned a lot from you all, as much as I think you may have learned a lot from me. And I still do have one-on-one consultations. If you are interested for 2025, holla at me, and let's sit down, dissect your channel, and let's grow it. All right. I charge right now $55, but up until the end of December, and I'm going back to $70 per hour. In most cases, it's never an hour, it's always over the hour, but I don't charge for the second or third or fourth hour. It's just the first one, depending on what we need to work on regarding your channel and things like that. So those of you who have trusted me with this process and your YouTube journey, thank you so much. I appreciate you for supporting my business. I wish you all the best of luck, and please, whatever you do, be safe. Come back in 2025 in one piece. Get showered with all the love from your fam, your friends. Take great vacation. Have the best time on Christmas Day and also Boxing Day. You know, Boxing Day. Do you know why Boxing Day exists? Yeah. If somebody made you upset during the course of 2024, you can go and give them one, but they are not allowed to hit you back. I always reserved that for the 26th. Like, you remember when you did one, two, three? Oh, no, 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 no. You're not allowed to punch me back. That's the rule. I don't know how true this is, but I've done it several times over the years. But I don't punch too hard. I just go like, "Ping," you know. You don't feel the pain, but you do get curious, like, what did you do that for? And then I explain. Do you do the same thing as well? I don't know. That's what I do. But thank you guys. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. Michelle says, just think people didn't have cigarettes then. Eventually they figured out how to roll it in paper and process the leaf with flavor. That's why people have preference of say, oh, okay, they are flavored. I didn't know because there's back in my days there used to be Rothmans, there used to be Mills, there used to be Stuyvesant, and now there's a variety of others that I have no idea existed when I was growing up. I don't know what they are. Oh, they flavor them after processing. Okay, I learned something new today. Siwa says, thank you, Clancis, for everything. We have learned a lot from you. May God bless and keep you so that we see you soon. Thank you so much, Siwa. I highly appreciate you guys very much so. Thank you. And Victoria's sisters, thank you. You know why I'm thanking you, right? Thank you so much. It's your support has been absolutely amazing. I appreciate you so much. May you all be blessed, guys. May I don't know. I got words in my head, but I don't know how to express them except for gratitude. So let's see each other again in 2025. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and happy New Year and prosperity. Yes, Lexington. Oh, Lexington. Remember Lexington? I remember Lexington as well. And Camel. Camel was mostly smoked by white people. Most of my teachers, they used to smoke both Lexington and Camel. I never seen a black person smoking Camel before, unless these days they do. I don't know. Hey, just joined. Is stream ending? Yeah, unfortunately. Hello. I'm so sorry. I'm leaving. Take care. Good evening. Good evening and good morning to you in LA, Michelle. Thank you. The Al Kabulan, stay blessed too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. or air. Take care. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Let's see each other next time in 2025. I don't know when I'm gonna be back, but I will be back and we'll continue this great, amazing journey that we are all on. If you haven't started your YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You know, do something. All right. Goodbye. Bye. Much love. Be blessed. Ciao.